coming here to give y'all a message today that, well, I guess you can't say it was channel because I kind of was thinking about it and then it just kind of like popped up. So today we're going to be talking about self-love and healing, and then, we're going to talk about feminine energy as well because, that does play a part too. So first I'm going to start with like the importance of having self-love for yourself, because when you have self-love for yourself, you cater to because you think about a lot of times, like, we look from love from other people to make us feel secure within ourselves, or we look for outside things to please us, versus if we were giving all that time and attention that we give other things to ourselves and loving ourselves and getting ourselves back to that point of peace and being happy. So having more self-love for yourself can give you more peace, and it can give you more of an appreciation to your soul, especially, because that's technically what we are. We're souls within bodies, and that's who we are. And I know a lot of people don't see it like that, but that's who we are essentially at the end of the day. So, hold on. Yo, so both. But yeah, I'm back. So yeah, what I was saying was, talking about the importance of self-love and getting to that place where you could appreciate yourself. Getting to that place where you loving yourself enough to love the good and the bad. Because, you might think like, damn, I hate my ways, I hate woo woo. But when you embrace, like, okay, that's my shadow, and that's a part of me. I can't let that control me, but I will acknowledge to myself that that is a part of me that I have to nurture and make sure that I take care of, make sure that I clear. And that's very important. So that was kind of like the first part. So the next part, which kind of just rolls into it, which kind of still correlates to the first part, but it's more so about stepping into your feminine energy. And I know a lot of people think like feminine energy, like that means like being more girly, woo, and it's not. That's the whole perception that they have on feminine energy or masculine energy, because there could be women that can also hold masculine energy. That's why they're more so like they come off like they're more like aggressive, or more like you can tell looking at a feminine, like you could tell looking at a masculine woman, because you could tell, like, not saying she's not loving or anything, but you could tell she's more in her masculine energy than she is in the soft feminine energy, free flowing. So we all have both energies within us, and that's the thing that we should not forget. Just because you act one way, or you put off this like, oh, I'm masculine, I'm macho, this woo woo, at the end of the day, we still all have that other half of feminine within us. And it's not like, it's like I said, it's not about, oh, I'm girly, or I'm like this and that. No, that's the perception that the world has, instilled on a lot of people, to make them look at people like, oh, if they're being feminine, then they must be like this. Or if they're being, they just associate the feminine energy as in a bad way, especially if it's on like the male side. But the feminine energy is mainly about like nurturing, like being soft, being grounded, kind of like having boundaries, like trusting, and then like trusting that intuition inside of you. Trusting when you feel things for self that it's not what it should, like, you just trusting that feeling inside of you. Versus like with the masculine energy, that's more being like more logical, or being like more focused on like things. It could be more so like, the masculine energy is more so like putting action towards things, like doing more things, like calling shots for themselves. Like, it's kind of like that energy. It's not really like the feminine energy, like what I said, where it's getting really in touch with the emotions, in touch with, like I said, sense of self and loving self, versus in the masculine energy, you're just putting the work in, putting the work in. So you're not really stopping to take that time to switch from mind to switch to heart, And so that's the masculine energy. But when you switch from being in your masculine energy like 24/7, and you take that time to start getting into your feminine energy, you start nurturing yourself more. You start giving yourself more self-love. You start catering more to self and building that love for yourself, so that so you think about this. When we don't love ourselves, we allow things to happen. We allow ourselves to put ourselves in situations, or we just don't take care of, we don't look at those things that we do care about. So then we'll be more sad and all down about it. But it's like, but we haven't stepped into that energy of looking at and taking accountability for the things that we are not giving to ourselves, but that we're giving away to others. And it could be a subconscious thing. Like, you might not understand that you're not putting love into yourself. You might think, now, don't get me wrong, you definitely can put love into yourself in different ways, like, doing stuff to cater to yourself, or like taking time to yourself. But like, you really go deep down and step into your feminine energy, and start to be more compassionate and be more like loving. Like, you'll see it and you'll feel it, because it's not your normal being in your masculine energy, versus like you just so focused, so on my like this, that. I would say the ways that you can use or to do to help step into your feminine energy is, I would say, like, dress up more, like do your hair more, like do things more to you that make you feel good, that make you feel better. Like, and it's not even better, but things that just make you feel just like you love. Like, it should get to the point where you loving yourself so much that you start to become happy without having things that are outside of self that gives you that peace and that happiness that feels good about you. Because it's all about, we take care of ourselves at the end of the day. We can't depend on somebody else to fix us or to make us better. We have to put that in ourselves first and say, like, okay, I'm making a decision for myself to love myself, to make myself better, so that I don't keep doing this. Or I'm giving myself more loving energy so that I can become more secure within myself. I'm giving myself more love so that I can just be more loving to others. You know what I'm saying? Because, when we don't get us, like I said, we don't give it to ourselves, then we lack it. Because especially if we're giving it to other people, but they're not giving it back to us, then we kind of feel like, damn, like, I just gave all my damn love away. Woo, woo. But if we were at peace and happy with self first, then we wouldn't go into it like we're losing love or like we're losing ourselves in people or things, because you are secure and you are in love with self first. And that allows you to go out and be free and not have those fears of, well, I mean, I feel like we're always going to have fears about things, but it's about clearing out those fears so it doesn't block. Because you think about a lot of fears that block your heart space, or a lot of things that block you from loving yourself. It might be what other people think, and that's usually like the biggest thing that we look at. We fear what other people say. Like, so like, let's say if you start taking time less from people, that all the time you get to people, you start getting to yourself. We have that fear that people look at us like, oh damn, they're not this, they're not that, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. But it's not like that. It's like, I'm taking time to love myself, and you should respect that that's what I'm doing, and you should, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how oneself would feel. But I can't speak for everybody, because everybody might have a different way of how they feel, about that. But I'm a person that's big on respect. Like, I will respect people's, what they say, what they, I'm going to respect it, because I come from a place of respect and, of honesty. So that's me. So I'm going to just be like that in general. But when I allow myself to love myself more, I realize I become happier. Like, I become so much more at peace. Like, I feel like things aren't, there's not many things to really worry about. Like, things can be going, we're all going to have priorities and responsibilities, but at the end of the day, when I lay down, it feels good to know that I love myself and that I know that when I'm giving out is love, you know, and when I'm being in people's lives is love, you know, and that's what I was literally put here to be. So when I take more time to self-care, when I take more time to like love myself and step more in my feminine energy, then I start taking care of myself more. I start taking care of, and it's not just about the body, it's about taking care of your mental health as well. You know, self-loving that for yourself. Like I said, having those moments where you self-reflect, you clear your shadow, and you just clear out any other thing, purging and literally getting out all of that negative low energy off of you so that you can feel like be your highest potential. And that's essentially what we're trying to do. We're trying to get to the highest vibration that we can. And there, like, you can keep raising your vibration forever, you know? I think a lot of people have this misconception that it's just like, you know, you get good and then you're good. But it's like, you could get good and, you know, still be increasing your energy by keeping high, like, yourself around things that just don't drain you. You think about all the low negative things you go through. You go through hate, sadness, anger, like think about all those low emotions that get you down and it gets you like it makes you feel drained. Like think about all the things that you do that drain you or make you feel less of yourself or make you feel not secure of self. You know, we have to get to a point where we are empowering ourselves before, like I said, we rely on other things to give us that empowerment or feel like we're important. You know, feel like you're important by yourself first before you look for that importance in other people or that validation that you need in other people. Because that's a lot of, I can honestly say I had a problem like that too. I used to look for validation in people. So I would do certain things 'cause I feel like, well, if I get validated this way or if I do this, then that'll give me that feeling that I kind of want inside, you know. But then I start realizing like, okay, but still doing that, I'm putting out those, you know, doing it, but it's not getting me what I want. But when I start allowing myself to have validation within myself and have that clarity and peace within myself that I know, taking the time to meditate, taking the time to actually think about and reflect about things that will help me empower myself, you know, help me become more secure within who I am. And, you know, we can't get down on things not really like turning out in our favor. So that's about kind of like getting to the releasing the control, releasing the attachment to things that essentially hold you back from being your highest potential. You know, I'm a person that, like, you know, unless well, I ain't gonna say I don't get attached to things, but it could be anything. It could be a person, a place, or a thing. Like it literally be anything. It could even be getting attached to a certain mindset or a certain emotion that you feel like you need to feel or that you have to feel, you know. But when you release that and you just allow yourself to surrender to the control, surrender to just like the attachments and literally just surrender everything in your body, you allow yourself to open up from and have that enlightenment and that guidance and to look at things with an open mind instead of looking at it with just so of a closed mind and a closed space of understanding. Because, you know, think about a lot of people, they don't like to understand, they don't like to hear things like, I don't know who's going to get to the end of this video, I don't know who's going to get to this point of this video to even understand, you know. And a lot of people don't understand, and that's okay, because it takes people time to understand what it means to self-love or to heal. It takes them going through certain things and experiences to understand that they need it, that they need to do it, you know. Sometimes like you'll go through situations where you, like I said, you come out of it realizing like, damn, I should have gave more time to myself. But it's those moments that we have those realizations that we see the truth and what we neglected within ourselves. So then you start caring about yourself more, like, you know what, all right, I'm gonna start doing this more for myself, I'm gonna start doing this more, and then you start putting those actions in to love yourself more. Then you see like, damn, like I could have been happy this whole time if I would have just been, you know, getting me together first, instead of just, like I said, just going out there feeling like, well, I get it from other people, you know. Because when you lack that self-love for yourself, you don't feel confident, you don't feel secure, you don't feel like you can, like I said, you look for the love and the validation of other people. Because if you feel it, it's like, oh, okay, I feel it. But once you get to that point where you feel it without needing another. So it's basically like having and giving yourself self-love before you feel like you got to get it from another person, basically. And it's okay to get love from people, you know what I'm saying? But don't just depend on their love to keep you going. Don't depend on their this or that, or don't depend on a certain thing or object that you have that gives you a feeling. Find it in you. Find it in you so that when those things go away, you still have that love within you. And it's not love for them, but it's love for self. And like I said, if you were depending on their love to make you feel good or make you feel whole, then when they're gone, you're like, damn, I don't feel complete. I don't feel woo-woo. Yes, that's because you depended on their love and their affection and their attention to make you feel something. Versus if you would have felt that for yourself within loving yourself and basically falling in love with yourself, coming into alignment with your higher self. Because your higher self not gonna let you not love yourself. Like, you gotta think your higher self know everything. Why do you think we had that mind where it's like we'll do the wrong thing right, but then like that right thing will pop up and be like, you should not do that. Like, we have that, but then our ego takes over and we do the wrong thing. You know, because we're not connected with our higher self. We're not connected with that part of ourselves that knows the true right from wrong. You know, because your higher self isn't going to guide you into a situation that's toxic or bad if you're following it, you know, because you listening. You're in touch with that, your inner self, your intuition within you. But when you're not connected to that and you just living, you just going, you just kind of living off ego of like whoever you turned out to be, you know, then you see where you keep making those mistakes or you keep making those decisions where you're putting others over self. Giving more time and attention to others or going out of your way to do this and this and that. But then it's like, but have I done that for myself though? The same time and energy I'm giving to these people and these things, have I given that to myself? And do I feel good giving away these things and then looking at myself like, damn, what do I have left for me? Because I went through a situation where I gave my all to a person, you know, because I felt that that would make them stay. You know, back then I had those abandonment issues. But once I healed that, I allowed myself to know, like, okay, I don't need to over please or overextend my energy, because when I do that and I drain myself like that, what do I have to give to myself? Now I feel love about myself. Now I feel down, like, damn, and I'm all caught up in that. Versus if I was giving that love to myself, and not saying just not giving all to them, like I'm saying, you know, it's all about having that balance. We have to learn how to have the balance of what to give and what to take. We have to have that balance of what to give to others and what to give to ourselves. And, you know, it was something I was thinking about the other day. And I remember telling myself, like, it was something I said. I was like, yeah, it's others. But then it's like, you know, you think about yourself first. Because, you know, you got to make sure you're good before everybody else good. And it's not a selfish thing. You know, when you look at it from a selfish standpoint, and the only way that you would look at it from a selfish standpoint is like if you're not humble, or if you're just naturally a selfish person, you know, then of course it's not going to feel like you're going to be like, oh yeah, fuck them, woo, bye, you know. But when it's not a selfish thing and it's unselfish and it's from a place of love, you have that understanding within yourself when you say, okay, I just need to take some time back, and it's all out of love because I got to make sure I get back to me. I have to get back to my happy place. I have to get back to my peace, to my sanity, you know? And, you know, like I said, some people, they'll understand and they'll see it because they're going to see how you were before you were giving all your time and energy away versus when you gave it to yourself. They're going to see it, you know? And the ones that don't see it, don't trip over it, because you know what you're doing for yourself. Because it's always going to be people that's going to try to be negative and bring down your peace, your happiness, because they see you in it. And they want to be in it, but they don't know how to get out of the misery that they're in, you know? And it's all about just healing and looking at the stuff that you did to get yourself in that situation, you know? You know, we're all in control. We all have free will of our lives, like, to do what we want to do. So if you keep doing toxic things, negative things, putting out hate into the world, you're gonna get that back. You're gonna get karma. You know what I'm saying? And if it's certain people that you mess over, you fuck over, like you're gonna get big karma. You know what I'm saying? Because they doing good. Like you think about people who try to like put people down that ain't being nothing but nice to people, that's being genuine, that's being like loving as fuck, and they talk shit about those people, they do all types of things. You see like those people excel to do good, and then the people that talked all the what's name or did this and did that against them, they start to fall off. You see karma hit their ass hard, you like, damn, why are they going through this? Like, well, shit, they must have did something to somebody, you know what I'm saying? But we can't get ourselves caught up in that. We just gotta understand and see it and see what it is, and just acknowledge it. Okay, well, I know, like, shit, I've been doing good, like, and it's not a fake, you've been doing good. It's a genuine. When you look at your shit, you shouldn't even have fear of it coming to you, because you already know that you put out good intentions and you put out good energy and you put out, you gave back, you did this. You know what I'm saying? Versus when you take it from people and you just like putting people down and talking stuff and doing things against them to make them look bad, and they're not a bad person, putting out the perception that they're not who they say they are, you know what I'm saying? But they really are who they are when people come to look. You get karma for that. Whether it goes from manipulation, telling lies, like, there's a lot of things that you can get karma from. There was one instance, and I'm only bringing this up because this is like the last thing I'm going to pinpoint. It was this one instance where like I told y'all before, it was ants outside, and it was about a thing, everybody, they used to tell you to do the what's name to do the ants. So I did this, like, I think I just put water on them, but they were like far away from like my house. Then I think I want to say like an hour or two later, I came outside, and then like I seen like they were like making a line like up the door around you know what I'm saying? But I realized that it was that, like, I didn't have to do that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to go and fuck up their home that they had already, you know what I'm saying? But I did it anyway. But the consequences and the karma of that was them hoes like climbing all about the house, trying to get up in the house to whatever the fuck they were trying to get to, So that's the same way when, you make certain acts towards people, or you do certain things and people didn't deserve certain things, you get karma because of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to, like, cheating in relationships, like, it's so crazy because, like, I don't even know, like, this shit just popped in my head. But it's like cheating in relationships. When you are aware that somebody else has somebody and you still make an act towards that, the karma might be you getting caught up, or the karma might be like secrets getting exposed. Like, you never know what it might be. But if you went into the situation, you didn't know what was going on, and you were not aware, then it's different, because you were not aware that it was something, you know what I'm saying? So it's different. But you going into it knowingly, you know what I'm saying? But hey, like I said, we all got free will though, so you create the life you live, right? So if you're getting bad and you keep getting bad experiences and you keep, it's a difference from going through like tough times and, it's just not your season, versus, like I said, you've been doing bad shit and it's never your season, you know what I'm saying? Because then you understand your actions that you're doing, the stuff that you put out to the world, it come back. You take from this person, something else might fall off from you. You try to steal from this person or something from this person, like, that shit gonna come back to you. It might not come back the same way you did it, but it's gonna come back. And then you gonna know, because when your karma hit, like, your karma hit so hard, it'll make you think like, damn, what the fuck did I do to somebody? What did I do? And then you start looking like, damn, yeah, you gotta have that moment with yourself. Then you have that moment with yourself, you realize it's about forgiving yourself for making those choices and decisions before you go and forgive that person for, whatever it was. And maybe they didn't do anything wrong, but, still coming from that place of forgiving them for making that decision. Because it's about having the healing within inside of you. If you don't forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made, if you don't forgive yourself from the bad choices you made, how do you expect others to forgive you when you ask for it, So just practice more self-love and healing, y'all. Just really try to find more happiness within yourself, happiness within the things that you are actually doing. Like, if you're doing some shit and it don't really make you feel good or make you feel happy, or you don't really feel like you at your highest potential, or you don't feel like, okay, if you just don't feel it, Start giving yourself more love. Start looking at the stuff that you need to heal. Start stepping more into your feminine energy. And like I said, it's not about being girly or being this. No, it's about the energy of what the feminine energy holds. So if you gotta look up what is feminine energy, look up what feminine energy is. If you gotta look up if you're a female, you want to get more into your masculine energy because you feel like you've always been in your feminine energy, do it, because we have both. But it's about balancing out the two. One more than the other can cause destruction sometimes. Being unbalanced can cause destruction. If something's not balanced, there's going to be destruction. Because there's not going to be any... The scales just ain't balanced. So, if you don't feel balanced, if you don't feel whole, if you don't feel... Start reflecting. Start looking at yourself more and seeing what is it? Where am I going wrong? What's not... And like I said, even if you meditate... Because like they usually say meditating is okay. Now sometimes if you do go into a meditation to quiet down your mind, like if you're overthinking, that's good. But when you're going into it to really look at problems and look at things within yourself to understand and to even get to a point to see where things started, meditate. Meditate on those questions that you want to know. Meditate on those things that you wanna figure out for yourself. Get more in tune with you. Because the more in tune you are with yourself, the more you won't need outside things to confirm or to verify and, like I said, validate the things that you need to feel or, question within yourself. Because we hold the answers to everything that we want to know, essentially. But that's not pushed out there a lot, People just say, oh, meditate. Woo, woo, woo. No, meditate on the things you want to know. Meditate on... It's like the intention when you go into the meditation. Even if you write it down in a little journal of what you're going to meditate for. It might not work the first time, but when you start being persistent, it'll start flowing to you. Because you're putting that time and that energy into trying to find out things. You're putting in that time and energy to slow yourself down and to see things. Like, I could tell people all day, like, the shit I see when I meditate or have dreams. But until they go through whatever they go through for themselves to see... It's never gonna, you know what I'm saying? So the ones that do believe, they believe. The ones that don't, they don't, And we have peace with that, with knowing, like, okay, we can't control everybody to believe in us. We can't control everybody to see what we see, They got to see it on their own first before they can even become believers. Like, you think about a lot of people that don't believe in God. Until they see that faith, until they have that faith test, until they really see what He can do, they're never gonna believe, And that's essentially how everything is. It's about getting to the point to believe. And sometimes you're not going to have proof to believe. Sometimes that's going to be the faith, Not having that proof, but having that faith and trusting your intuition and trusting the guidance that you're receiving from up above. Literally trusting it. Having faith that what your intuition is telling you ain't wrong. So when you had that little thought about doing this or doing that, or not doing this and not doing that, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about the negative thought that goes away from the doing right or doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? But the one that you feel is the right choice. The one that you feel is the right move. When you start keying in on that and you start paying attention, it's going to be so much clearer. It's going to be so much securing, and it's going to be a feeling like just thinking about it now, how confident I have become into my intuition and come into me loving me, bro. Like, I feel good. Like, and it's not to make anybody else feel less of themselves, but it's to inspire them to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? We push to inspire. We push to help people, guide them to their peace, to their true happiness within the self. When you get so caught up in the material world, it's easy to depend on material things to make you feel good about yourself. It's easy to start depending on things to make you look good, But if you're using other things to make you look good versus them using yourself to make you look and feel good. It's a video I posted, and I was talking about confidence. Like, we could be confident in things, but then, like, we don't really, like, so let's say, like, I have confidence, like, I could look confident, right? But if I don't feel confident within myself and having that feeling of confidence, disregarding what the outside confidence looks like, then it's like you don't have that problem, you're so secure within yourself. But yeah. So I just want to come on here and get our message about self-love and healing and talking about the feminine energy and, going on to another spiel about self-control and, well, not even self-control, just control, like releasing control within things and places and whatever it is, and really get back to that place of peace and happiness within yourself, feels good. So I really inspire, and I hope that you guys are inspired by this video I made. And like I said, I hope y'all made it to the end, because some people, they don't watch to the end because they don't. Everybody, I guess they lose focus, but it's probably not for them if they didn't stay tuned in, or they didn't see it, or they didn't really pay attention. It probably wasn't for them, or maybe it's not for them right now. But maybe down the line they'll be like, "Hey, somebody talked about that. Maybe I need to look at that again." You never know what it is. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I don't know why I'm gonna say let y'all go, like y'all the ones waiting on me to go. But anyways, so I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm about to go. We finna have a rest of a good night tonight. We about to just work on some more music and just let all the energies flow and just feel the peace, feel the happiness. So I'm Beezy, and I love talking to y'all today. Until next time with the next message.